Hello, welcome to Punk Rock Show Off. I'm Brandon Judd. Today we are looking at albums that are turning 45. Now, every year, every album has an anniversary, but all of these albums in this stack next to me were released in 1979. Now, I say that these are punk albums that are turning 45 years old. That has an asterisk next to it because I think the definition of punk rock has changed quite a bit over the years. Your definition may be different from mine. My definition changes. Not all of these may fall into the punk category firmly or tightly. So just bear with me. And you know what? If you'd like to argue with me in the comments, go ahead and subscribe. I'm certain there's a lot of stuff I'm going to say you don't agree with, and that's fine. But you can let me know. I don't care. This is my channel. Now, the other caveat with this is that these are records that I own in this list. There are definitely more albums that fall into the punk category that are turning 45 years old this year, but it just so happens that these are in my collection. Now, there's plenty that are not in my collection that I would love to talk about or love to have. I just don't have them yet. So, again, if you'd like, go ahead and comment and tell me I'm an idiot for not having those records. So let's start. First up, we have the B-52s. Of course, this is their debut. Supposedly, John Lennon heard Rock Lobster and he decided that inspired him to create music again. So incredible credit to the B-52s for that. Plenty of good stuff on here. I got to see the B-52s a few years ago. Unfortunately, they seem to have called it quits last year. I believe they played their last show, or at least said they were going to. But this is a great, fun album all the way through. Give it a spin if you're having a party. Everybody seems to love it. Up next, The Damned, Machine Gun Etiquette, turning 45 this year. This is one of my favorite Damned albums. It's amazing all the way through. I got to see them play it live a few years ago. They're always a good show. I've seen them twice. I hope they come around again. I don't know if I could pick out a favorite song on this album. It's got everything on it. I first got into The Damned when The Offspring covered Smash It Up for that Batman movie soundtrack. The soundtrack for that was awesome. I don't know if I ever even saw the movie, but I heard The Offspring cover Smash It Up, and then I looked up who it was. It was The Damned, and then so I was introduced to The Damned in the mid-90s that way. As a kid, I was a child who wanted to find out more about The Damned. But guess what? I couldn't. I lived in a small town, no record stores. Up next, the second album from the Dickies, Dawn of the Dickies. Now, here's the thing. They've got two albums turning 45 this year. I don't have the other one. I don't have the Incredible Shrinking Dickies. I wish I did. I think they're really good. I've seen them live a couple times. Out here, there's a great song from this record that I really love. Fan Mail. You can't really go wrong with the Dickies. They've been around forever. But then I say that with most of these bands on this list with albums turning 45. They've been around forever. The Dickies still out there, keeping it real. Up next, Gang of Four, Entertainment. Now, lots of bands I listen to cite Gang of Four as an inspiration. For me, you can see this still has cellophane on it. I haven't listened to it much. I gotta be honest, I am not super familiar with Gang of Four. I have listened to this record a few times. I think it's okay. They're a little weirder, but maybe that was a good thing back then, 45 years ago. Another 45-year-old album. This one is a cheat. Okay? The Germs released GI in 1979. Now, I don't have that, or original copies of that are kind of hard to come by. They're kind of expensive, but that's okay. They've got everything on this compilation. I know this compilation didn't come out until like 1993 or something. But it's got all the songs. It's got all the songs from GI on it. This is the best I can do to represent the Germs. Sorry. Now, this came out middle of 1979, and then like less than a year later, Darby Crash was dead, and the Germs kind of died with him. There were some reunions with some fill-in singers and stuff, but another one, Gone Too Soon, Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Of course, released in 1979. Less than a year later, their singer, songwriter, Ian Curtis, dead by suicide, just like Darby Crash from the Germs. Sad deal. This is good. It's darker. A lot of my goth friends love this album. I love this album too. I think it's great. I got to see Peter Hook and the Light play it front to back, along with a a lot of other Joy Division songs. It was like a double set thing that I saw a couple years ago at the Metro in Chicago. They did it justice, but I would love to see it with Ian Curtis, but we know that is not a possibility. Another band with 2 albums turning 45 this year are the Skids, Scared to Dance, and their other album, Days in Europa. Let's talk about Scared to Dance. Now, I didn't really look at these much before. I can't really remember all the songs on here. Now, I'm lame. I knew who the Skids were, but I got into them more after Green Day and U2 covered The Saints Are Coming. I know that is a super lame way to get into a band, but whatever. I love them enough. I got these 2 albums going so far. I really like them. Their sound is really good. The other album, Days in Europa. More good stuff on here. Now, there's some controversy on this one. This is supposedly, I guess, somewhat fascist imagery from Germany, if you catch my meaning. So this is the original cover. This was issued with a different cover. I like having an original. We'll just say they changed it, and maybe everyone's better off for it. We'll see. Now, point of debate. Should we mark this anniversary for the Clash's London Calling as 45 years or 44 years? So 45 years UK, 44 years US. Now, most of these bands, obviously, on this list, people are still talking about them. That's why I have these records, and they're 45 years old. But London Calling, The Clash, what else can you say about them? Their impact is still felt to this day. This record's excellent, front to back to front, however you want to cut it. Also, fun fact, a lot of people don't know about this record is that a Clash song that they may be familiar with, Train in Vain, which you might hear people refer to as Stand By Me, is not listed on this album. It is technically a secret track. So there you go. For the US, they made it easier for idiots, and then they subtitled it Stand By Me. Last but not least, turning 45 from my collection is The Undertones, self-titled. Irish punk rock band. They wrote one of the greatest songs ever, in my opinion, Teenage Kicks. Look it up. The song is perfect. It's excellent. And there's a lot of real genius pop songs in here. Sort of like how you get the Ramones writing like perfect pop songs. They did it too. And I think they did a really good job of it. So let's celebrate these albums. Let's keep them spinning. Love it. Hey, if you like seeing me yammer on about these albums, I got more anniversary videos coming. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Punk Rock Show Off on there. I share more stuff about my album collection there. Jump on it, yell at me, we can fight in the comments. Until then, au revoir.